Graham Harrell and Joe Brady are the names to know if you're a Texas fan. I'm going to explain why after the bumper.
Don't be cornering me. Hold up. Time. You got to help me with that corner
What's up, kinfolk? It's RJ Young. I'm not on a step mill. Consider hitting the like and subscribe button because I upload a video every single day. It's always college football related, sports related. We have a good time. And today, I want to talk about Texas's search for an offensive coordinator. First, I want to encourage you to sign up for my newsletter. If you do so between now and the Big 12 championship game, you will be entered to win the Hertz lamp, which I guess if you're a Texas fan and you're watching this, you don't have much use for except maybe to troll your favorite OU fan with, but I don't know, turn it orange. It actually shows orange against the light. It's one of the reasons that I stopped using it. But I want to talk about what you're looking at when you're looking for an offensive coordinator at the University of Texas. What you're looking for is points scored, honestly. Now, two ways to think about this. I think that Joe Brady is much more the guy that Texas fans would want than Graham Harrell, but you should definitely want Graham Harrell. It's actually 1A versus 1B. I'm going to explain why. So Joe Brady is the passing game coordinator at LSU, who is the wonderkin behind the evolution of the LSU offense, or as I like to refer to it, their discovery of the forward pass. At LSU, since their discovery of the forward pass, Joe Brady has turned Joe Burrow into a Heisman Trophy candidate and the shoo-in to win the award should he beat Georgia this weekend. Goes from an antiquated pro-style, I'll call it old styles offense, Chicago shout out, to what we know of as modern offensive football. And all Joe Brady did is coach linebackers at William & Mary, work his way up to being an also-ran assistant for the New Orleans Saints. He put on a display on a whiteboard for Ed Orgeron, Steve Ensminger. Steve Ensminger took him to Ed Orgeron and was like, yo, maybe this is the guy that we need to have on because I'm just not getting it done. And Orgeron was like, cool, let's see what he wants to do. Brought him on as an assistant. And more or less, it's become the Joe Brady show in the passing game with Steve Ensminger calling the plays. Now, Joe Brady is also a finalist for the Frank Broyles Award, which is given to the nation's top assistant coach each year. He is going to be a hot commodity. Things to know about Joe Brady. He does not seek the spotlight. He does not like the spotlight. He wants to be in his office, talking ball, coaching ball, strategizing for ball. I think that makes him a really good guy to work for under Tom Herman, who wants that spotlight very much on himself. Now, this would also mean that Tom Herman is going away from his power spread because Joe Brady doesn't run that. And you got found out pretty often and late against Big 12 opponents. Alex Grinch was dialed in enough into it to make you look silly. And then later on, Iowa State. And then later on, Baylor, Phil Snow, also Broyles Award finalist. Talking about some of the class assistants in college football that went at Texas and won. And then a guy like Joe Brady, who may or may not be coaching in the booth in a national title game. Whether or not he wins the SEC, I think we all agree it doesn't have to. LSU getting in the playoff. It's about who they play and how well they play against them. And Ed Orgeron has an opportunity to win a national championship, probably lose Joe Brady some other job. But to what job? Because in signaling that you would go and get Joe Brady, Tom Herman is also saying the entire offense gets shredded and thrown up, which is a big deal. One, because that is how Tom Herman made his name, running power spread, particularly underneath Urban Meyer at Ohio State, where he won a national title with a third-string quarterback. 12-gauge stand-up. Also, the offense that he ran at Houston when he beat Oklahoma and finished as a Group of 5 champion. Got the gold grill to show for it. Diamond grill to show for it. Now, Texas ain't really work out like that. You win 10 games in a 14-game season. You win a Sugar Bowl. Cool. We understand. And then there's a drop-off because everybody knows you have one of the best recruiting classes in all of college football and you haven't developed any of them into first-round draft picks. We'll see what happens going on in this NFL draft, but I don't expect Devin Duvernay or Colin Johnson or Brandon Jones to end up in the first round of this NFL draft, which would continue a trend for Texas that I think dates back to, well, at least 5-6 years. 2014, I believe, is the number. And somebody's going to fact check me on that in the comments below. Would love to know. But I know that it's been a while. Longer than it should be for the University of Texas, who I know also, factually, has lost 4 games each season for the last 10 years running, which is the same as it's always been for the University of Texas, even as Texas fans don't want to say so. But if Tom Herman is going to be the change agent that Mack Brown was, he's probably going to have to do it the way Mack Brown did it, which is to say, you have to let go of the play calling responsibilities, which is definitely what you're going to have to say if you want Graham Harrell to leave USC to come to Texas. I think this is the better of the 2 hires because I think this is the sharper of the 2 fits. Graham Harrell is of Texas. Graham Harrell played at Texas Tech. Graham Harrell also brings what nobody else on that staff brings, which is a Super Bowl ring. Backup quarterback for the Green Bay Packers when they won it behind Aaron Rodgers. He understands what it takes to win. He also beat Texas at a time when it was terribly difficult to beat Texas as quarterback for the Texas Tech Red Raiders beneath Mike Leach. Back when he had it humming, throwing 4 verticals to Michael Crabtree, who was the best wide receiver in the entire college football landscape. 2009, magical year for Texas Tech. And then we got Adam James to screw this all up. Maybe not even Adam James, maybe just Craig. But we'll just leave that alone for a second. That's a different upload. Graham Harrell is also the fit because he runs an offense that is quite similar to the one that both Cliff Kingsbury runs at Arizona and the one that's run at Oklahoma. And we know that there are folks on some message boards at Texas that are like, why don't we just go get Lincoln Riley from OU? Like, that's just an easy win. I'm telling you, the issue for Texas fans is that they don't have the proper amount of respect for their rival, for their foe. Bro, Lincoln Riley gets paid more money than Tom Herman. Okay? Let's not. Probably going to get another raise. He makes college football playoff. He ain't going anywhere. Plus, he loves Oklahoma. He doesn't even want to leave Oklahoma for an NFL job. And Texas fans are also wrong to think that they're more important than an NFL job because you ain't got the W's to prove it, dog. Now, getting Graham Harrell onto campus would also mean Tom Herman is letting go of the play calling duties because he doesn't run anything like an air raid. Also would mean Graham Harrell would have to turn Sam Ehlinger into a better passer, even more so than he has been this year, and he's gotten remarkably better this year. But I would say this, Tom Herman knows quarterbacks and he knows personnel. He recruited Joe Brady to Ohio State. He actually brought him to Urban Meyer the first time and said, I found your Alex Smith, to which Urban Meyer was unconvinced and said, go look harder. You end up bringing Joe Burrow in anyway. So he was going to run basketball on grass at Ohio State. And then at LSU, they run this old styles offense that didn't work. You give him a modern offense to pass out of, and he knows exactly what he's doing. I think the same could be true for Sam Ehlinger. I think if Tim Beck is half the quarterback's coach that most people think he is, even as there's lots of shade for Tim Beck, you're probably going to get some better development. But even if he's not, Graham Harrell is a plenty capable quarterbacks coach and offensive coordinator. And then Tom Herman can do the thing that he's supposed to do as a head coach, which is be the CEO. Make sure everybody does everything perfect all the time. Go earn your paycheck. Either way you look at it, I think both Graham Harrell and Joe Brady would be outstanding hires for the University of Texas. I just want to see if they can actually pull this off because as I was told by Brooks Melchior on his show, Sports Bride Brooks, Fed Cred, he understands that Graham Harrell has interviewed for 2 head coaching jobs, one of which is UTSA, and that he is connected very much so to this Texas job. And then we got Anwar Richardson at orangebloods.com reporting that Joe Brady is in contention, but also Graham Harrell has been reached out to about the job, and Tom Herman is looking to move fast on his offensive coordinator. So we might have an answer for who the next offensive coordinator is at Texas sooner rather than later. All right, that is it for me. Doses.